let's go. We've got a developer update. So I'm going to tell you now, there's a lot of reading here. So buckle in. The director's take, tricks, tweaks, and treats for season 13. Let's get into it. We've got our take here. Now we're going to be looking at some new updates to the in-game scoreboard. A detailed look at the 4 map changes. 4 maps that are getting major map changes. The Widowmaker skin, as well as an insight to some of the buffs and nerfs coming next season. Now, there's a few outrageous things happening here, so let's just go off and jump into it. We're just going to skip this. It's just an introduction. Okay, so to kick things off, let's take a look at the tank adjustments. Ramattra's pummel, while in Nemesis form, is getting an adjustment that will better give opponents a chance to take cover without really impacting the lethality of the attack. The attacks from Ramattra's punches will no longer pierce barriers, but instead will deal 2.5 times the damage on them. This gives Ramattra more strategy to decide whether to focus on breaking a barrier, which can leave opponents vulnerable to attacks from your teammates, or instead focus on individual targets. Heroes like Reinhardt also now have more of a choice to make, using the barrier's health or eating the punches themselves. We hope this change can make a more interesting engagement while Ramattra is in his Nemesis form. No, I'm not in with this change. I'm sorry. I'm not for this. This is gonna make the likes of Winston way too annoying, dude. Winston's barrier is annoying enough as it is. This is just gonna make it. We've put my boy in the ground. What have they done to you? Personally, I'm not for this. Next up, which is crazy, dude, crazy, that we are nerfing Ramattra again, but then we are buffing MAUGA. This is the second time now that MAUGA has gotten a buff and Ramattra has been nerfed, dude. MAUGA's getting a buff to Gunny. His incendiary chain gun with ignite damage over time will now last 4 seconds. Combined with the burst potential of Cha-Cha, his volatile chain gun, MAUGA will have more reason to stay focused on smaller targets without making him stronger against other tanks. Yeah, because MAUGA needed it. MAUGA needed the buff. He was suffering. For supports, you're going to see a notable change for Juno. She remains popular, and we expect to continue well into season 13. We want to bring her healing potential a bit and encourage players to rely on her mobility more. First off, her fall off range is reduced, which will require her to be closer to allies to heal or enemies to attack effectively. The Medi Blaster also has a small nerf to the healing amount. You can also expect some changes for Brigitte and Baptiste in the next patch as well. Moving on to some of the DPS, Sojourn has changes to her railgun and disruptor shot that will give more skill to her playstyle. Energy no longer holds a minimum of 25, but will now deteriorate much slower. We're also powering up disruptor shot to be stronger. Damage per second is increased to 80 and will generate a small amount of energy for the railgun for any damage dealt. Damn. We're looking to make the ability feel less ignorable for opponents and reward anyone playing a soldier with well-placed disruptor shots. These changes are focused on getting more power into her kit of the railgun shot itself and making her neutral gameplay feel better. Talking about the Sombra change next, we are moving stealth away from being a passive that activates on its own to instantly trigger every time you use Translocator. It will now only stay active for 5 seconds after you translocate. This change moves away from allowing Sombra to take any position she wants, but instead gives her a play loop that increases her lethality. Sombra is revealed briefly when she takes damage or uses her hack, instead of losing the stealth entirely. Translocator also has a longer cooldown, so you'll need to carefully plan how you attack your enemies or use the ability as an escape. We're also giving Sombra back her Opportunist passive, which allows you to see targets that are critically injured through walls, along with increasing weapon damage over time. We've also reduced the hack ability lockout to 1 second, which has been a frustrating part of her kit that opponents have to deal with. So some wild changes, some wild world changes coming to characters next season. I don't agree with Ramattra at all. MAUGA doesn't need that. I'm gonna say MAUGA doesn't need that. Sojourn, I don't know. Sojourn still kind of can be really powerful at times, but we'll see. Juno, I guess that's fair. Baptiste and Brig, we'll see what they are. Sombra, I don't know how to feel about. I don't know how to feel about not losing the stealth after getting hit. Alright, we're going to talk about the competitive play and matchmaking. So we're talking about, we still want to engage you to group with your friends even when playing competitive, so we have several changes to matchmaking which should help. Matchmaking for the wide pool has been tuned to focus on shorter queue times. We think having evenly matched players on the tank role is really important, so we've also upgraded our role delta tech to prioritize matching tank players against each other even more closely than the other roles. Playing in pre-main groups is a great way to play Overwatch, especially competitive, but at the highest ranks we think the advantage of grouping becomes pretty overwhelming. Higher rank matches will now take into account the benefit of grouping when constructing a match. We've also tuned down multiple modifiers related to MMORPG. This will make it more difficult for new accounts to unfairly climb higher into top 500 than they might deserve without punishing more seasoned accounts. Finally, at top 500, you will be required to complete the Season Competitor Lifetime Challenge, which requires the player to win 750 games in competitive play in Overwatch 2 before you can appear on any season's top 500 leaderboard. With this change, we are confident in lower the individual season threshold for games played on a roll to 25 per season. This will allow our veteran and seasoned players to not feel pressure to play as much throughout the season. There will be some other changes, some matchmaking, so be sure to read up on our patch notes when the new season goes live next Tuesday, being tomorrow. We can't wait for you to jump back into the game and change heroes and competitive play, blah blah blah. Right, so that's a look at some of the changes we're getting next season. One thing we didn't get any update on there was the 6v6. I feel like a lot of people are looking for an update on the season 6, and we didn't get one of this, so hopefully something will come out about that soon. Right, so let's have a look at some of the changes we are getting next season. I don't know how to feel about that. I do not like that Ramattra change whatsoever. And now MAUGA getting a buff again, and no one mentioned the D.Va, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out for that, because D.Va still is really strong. But look, we'll see when the season releases tomorrow, and we'll see how the game goes over the next few weeks. That's all I have for today's video. If you did enjoy, hit that subscribe button as well as that like button. Any support here is greatly appreciated. All my social medias are linked in the description below if you want to go check them out, as well as ways to support me further. But yeah, that's all I have. I love you. See you in the next one.